Look around you. Everyone's connected, right? Work, home, bus stop, a tap away. We're a global village, fingers flying. But wait a minute, there's a paradox here. We're globally connected, but something's missing. A real connection, you know? That feeling of being truly seen. Why do we still feel so alone? Funny thing, isn't it? Technology brings us closer than ever. Constant stream of information, endless virtual interactions. And yet, many of us feel profoundly alone. The very tools designed to connect us seem to be driving us apart. In this age of endless connection, why do we still crave genuine human contact? Let's explore that.
We're together, but apart. Ever caught yourself sitting next to someone, only to realize neither of you is truly present? Or spending time with family, but everyone's lost in their own virtual world? It's as if we're close, yet worlds away. Is this what human connection has come to? Being physically present but emotionally absent? A 2018 study by the University of Pennsylvania was one of the first to provide causal evidence that limiting social media use can directly decrease feelings of loneliness and depression. Participants who restricted their smartphone use to just 30 minutes a day reported significant improvements in mental well-being after just 3 weeks. Another comprehensive survey, conducted in 2020 by Cigna, found that over 60% of Americans reported feeling lonely, with young adults aged 18 to 22 being the loneliest generation. Coincidentally, this is the generation most embedded in the world of smartphones and social media. But these are just numbers. What about real-world effects? In 2015, psychologists conducted a fascinating experiment to observe how constant connectivity via smartphones impacts relationships. The results were eye-opening. In this study, participants were split into 2 groups. One was allowed to use their smartphones during social interaction, while the other had their phones taken away. The researchers found that the group without smartphones reported feeling significantly more connected to one another, with deeper conversations and more meaningful eye contact. Psychologists have long warned about the mental toll of constant smartphone use. A 2017 study by San Diego State University found that teenagers who spent more than 3 hours a day on smartphones were 35% more likely to have risk factors for suicide than those who use them less. The researchers pointed to the pressures of social comparison, cyberbullying, and the fear of missing out, which are all amplified by smartphone use. Smartphones give us constant access to each other's lives, but that access comes at a cost. Our self-esteem, our mental health, and perhaps most critically, our ability to form genuine human connections. As smartphones pull us deeper into the digital world, the line between reality and our online lives begins to blur. Instead of experiencing moments for ourselves, we document them for others to see, craving likes and validation. Are we living for ourselves, or have we become performers in the endless scroll of content? But there's hope. Smartphones aren't inherently bad. They're powerful tools if used wisely. The key is finding balance. Studies suggest that taking short breaks from your phone, limiting screen time, and focusing on real-world connections can dramatically improve mental well-being. What if we took more time to be present with each other? What if we used our smartphones more mindfully, setting boundaries for when to connect digitally and when to disconnect for the sake of real human interaction? The way we interact with each other has changed dramatically. Smartphones have redefined social norms. It's common to see people at dinners, meetings, or even parties, heads down, focused on their screens instead of the people around them. A 2019 study published in Computers and Human Behavior coined this phenomenon as phubbing, the act of snubbing someone in favor of your phone. Phubbing doesn't just feel rude, it has a measurable effect on relationships. Research from Baylor University shows that the more people experience being phubbed, the more likely they are to report dissatisfaction in their relationships. It creates a sense of being ignored, undervalued, and even rejected. As smartphones become ever-present, we are unconsciously choosing digital connection over in-person interaction. The subtle message we send is that the person on the other end of the phone is more important than the one sitting right next to us. Social media, one of the main draws of smartphones, plays a pivotal role in how we see ourselves and others. It presents us with a curated, highlight reel version of everyone's life, fostering a culture of constant comparison. Psychologists call this upward social comparison, where we compare our lives to those we perceive as doing better or having more. A 2020 study published in Current Opinion in Psychology found that people who spend more time on social media are more likely to experience feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and depression. This constant comparison makes it hard to feel satisfied with our own lives, as we constantly measure ourselves against unrealistic standards. We've begun chasing an illusion, endlessly scrolling through the best moments of others' lives, while our own insecurities deepen. And the more we scroll, the more isolated we feel. The impact of smartphones isn't just emotional, it's physical too. Smartphones can take a toll on our health, especially when used excessively. One major concern is their effect on our sleep. The blue light emitted from screens can interfere with the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep. In fact, a 2017 study from Harvard University showed that people who are exposed to blue light from screens before bed take longer to fall asleep, experience less restful sleep, and are more likely to wake up feeling groggy and unrefreshed. Poor sleep has been linked to a host of issues, from reduced cognitive function to an increased risk of anxiety and depression. But it's not just sleep that suffers. Doctors have coined the term text neck to describe the strain that looking down at a phone can put on our spine and neck. The more time we spend hunched over our devices, the more we put pressure on our muscles, leading to chronic pain and discomfort. Smartphones are designed to keep us hooked. Every notification, every ping, every vibration is a deliberate attempt to capture and hold our attention. Tech companies profit from our engagement, leading to what's now known as the attention economy. Tristan Harris, a former Google design ethicist, has spoken out about how apps and smartphones are engineered to exploit our psychological vulnerabilities. Features like infinite scrolling, autoplay videos, and push notifications are all tactics used to keep us glued to our devices. Studies show that heavy smartphone use can increase feelings of loneliness and depression. We're constantly plugged into a stream of content, yet somehow it leaves us empty. The constant comparisons, the curated lives we see online, they remind us of what we lack rather than what we have. So if we're so connected, why are we lonelier than ever? Do we even experience life the same way anymore? From capturing moments just for Instagram to always being on for social media, smartphones have blurred the line between real life and our digital personas. Are we living for ourselves or for the attention of others? Sure, smartphones make life easier. We can order food, book rides, connect instantly, but at what cost? With every ding and notification, we're pulled further away from the present moment, from true human interaction. We're more distracted than ever, but it doesn't have to be this way. Smartphones aren't inherently bad. They're just tools. And like any tool, it's how we use them that matters. What if we set boundaries, took time to disconnect, and chose to be fully present when it counts? So next time you pick up your phone, ask yourself, am I connecting or am I just scrolling? Because in a world where we're always online, maybe what we're really searching for is offline.